In this tutorial I'm going to show how to enter a Routemap assessment. So from the main menu I'm choosing Assessment Tools and View and Edit Routemaps. And I know that there's one pupil by the name of Jack Jones who has no Routemap assessment at the moment. So I could select him, and as well as choosing his name from a list, I can actually just type the first letters of his name and it will find it that way, and I'll go to his record, and you can see there are no Routemap records for him as yet. So the first thing I need to do is add a new draft Routemap by clicking on this button. When I do that, I'm asked to confirm it. And as soon as I've done that, there's a blank Routemap available. But you can't just fill in directly these boxes. You have to actually enter evidence before you can do it. You'll see that if I point to any of the boxes and leave the mouse there for a second, it will tell me what that particular box title is. If I point to any of the little buttons next to those boxes, you'll see that it's where you go to click to enter evidence. So I'm going to click on this one for box 1. And in fact, you can see I've already filled some evidence in for Jack. When you open it, it will automatically choose today's date. But you can change this by just clicking on a date within the calendar. So you just select the date and click. You can also type it in. The other thing you have to do is to choose the assessing teacher, or the initials of the assessing teacher, from this drop-down list. That will be pre-populated by whoever's set up the program within your school. You then type in the evidence here. You can also make a linked evidence file, and I'm going to show you how that's done. First of all, I'm going to get rid of the one that's there. Now if I click on link evidence file and confirm that that's what I want to do and that there's a file available somewhere that the program can access, I'm then shown a box with all the different bits of my filing system in. So I can choose a video clip and open it, and when I do, it puts the pupil's name and the name of the box in as a link. Now when I click on it, it opens the link. In this case I've chosen the document file, but it could be any form of file, including a video clip or a photograph. And when you close that, you go back to this form. There are actually two pieces of evidence here, so I can move to the next piece of evidence and create a link to that if I want to as well. I can enter new evidence by creating a new blank record, and I'll be prompted to put a date and the assessor in. But I may want to check that the evidence that I'm putting in is relevant to the box, and clicking on things to try and what to look for enables me to see the things to try and the things to look for that are part of the Routes for Learning assessment booklet. Also within this form, the school can put its own exemplar video clips for that particular box, and that's a process that's managed by whoever is the assessment manager within the school. If I close the box, nothing has changed on here, but the evidence is there. What I now need to do is to rate that evidence with an incremental rating, and over on the summary side here you can see the ratings that are used are emerging, developing, achieved and generalized, although these can be edited to be whatever the school wants them to be, and they'll appear throughout the program in that format. So I'm going to put a rating in for this box of achieved, and you'll see that it colours the box up here. Now when I close the evidence form, several things happen. First of all, the box is coloured up. Also, the score is added in here, so it's showing that one box is marked as achieved, and achieved scores 3 points out of the scale of 4. So the total will increase according to whatever boxes are chosen and whatever the score given to them is. So that basically is the way in which you add. So I can go to a new box again, click on this, there is the today's date. I choose myself as the assessor and I type in some evidence, and when I think the evidence is relevant to that box, I then give it a rating, which might be developing, for instance. And when I close it, you can see that developing doesn't colour the box, only achieved and generalized colour it, but you've got an indication that it's there, and developing is scored there, and the incremental total is increased. I can also, from here, choose a button to show all evidence for this pupil. Now all the things that I've put are shown here on an overall form, including that link to the evidence file, which I can click on just as I did before. Close the summary form. The other thing you can do is you can call up some help if you're not sure about things. Clicking on this button gives you help and what to actually do when you're recording. And the final thing I'll show you is you can reflect on other evidence that's been recorded by other teachers, perhaps, for other youngsters throughout the school. So if you click on this button, you then select a particular Routemap box. So I'll choose Notices Stimuli, and now you can see all of the evidence that's been recorded for different youngsters in the school, and that's quite helpful in terms of trying to work out whether what you're seeing is relevant or not. And you can again go to the linked evidence file from this form. Okay, so I'm going to close the evidence, the Routemap now, and call that the end of this video.